Hey, I'm Willie from the Zombie Star, and this week in comics, what we're reading this week are actually some new issues that have been released this week, as I'm still catching up from previous weeks. But we do have one number one to discuss that I'm really excited for, and it's just some other follow-up issues that I'm still recommending and that I'm still just really in love with. Let's begin. From Image Comics this week, our number one is Time Before Time. Created by Declan Shelby and Rory McConville. Earth is doomed, and the human race has very little to look forward to. So the people have resorted to the Syndicate, which offers a very specific service. Travel back in time to live out your life in a time period where the Earth was in a better place. And main character Tatsu is a seasoned employee of the Syndicate that has smuggled many people to their desired time periods, no questions asked. Tatsu's kind of demeanor and his business as usual and nonchalant behavior going about this line of work, and of course this story's setting and it's kind of the world that it's building is really just the strongest parts and the most attractive qualities of this narrative. In regards to the art style, I'm really appreciating this simplistic approach, given its very dense material. Colors are very calm, nothing's really overdone or over-exaggerated. Serving as a drama, this artwork really deliberately meets the mood and the tone of this narrative. And at the same time, serving its slow pace, yet is an engaging story. This is our main cover for Time Before Time. This really surprised me. This is going to be another hard recommendation. Again, just coming from Image Comic Books, I just think, again, they put up some of the best material in my opinion. And we picked up one variant cover for Time Before Time. But this was our only number one for this week. From Image Comics, Geiger number 2. This issue really gets to world building, as we see the city of Las Vegas has really turned into this make-believe kind of made-up playground where lawless vice and organized crime really just reign supreme. Here, these wasteland gangs, they have started to operate as a monarchy, as these ruthless bosses just refer to themselves as kings. In this makeshift city, citizens are ruled and are controlled by these murderous gangs. In this issue, we see a citizen kind of seize an opportunity to escape this life of torment for herself as well as her children. Tragedy obviously occurs, and in this really exciting issue, we see that our citizens have crossed paths with the fabled and mythed glowing man. And the story is going to just take off from there. I'm really loving the character build-up for this story and for these citizens as well, these characters that were introduced in this issue. The only thing I can really relate it to as the first time that I read Spawn number 1. I'm really seeing some correlations here and some parallels, which I think is just absolutely amazing. Artistically, it is consistent from issue number 1, just creating that desolate atmosphere for the post-apocalyptic wasteland, but also now introducing the city of Las Vegas, just giving this energetic and lively look of this kind of the city of villainy, but beautifully rendered. Easily, the glowing man is the show stealer for visuals here. I'm really loving his look. His glow ability, his cape, his hood really just are working well. And now this issue kind of has a little bit of a revealing backstory for the main character, and even just, of course, the setting that it's taking place in really is complementing his look, and as a reader, really helping appreciate the way he looks. Obviously, this is not something that's totally new, but I feel is really apart from just anything that I'm currently reading now. Geiger number 1. This is your standard cover. At least I believe it is. We're getting some awesome creatures. I had mentioned before how I'm just getting also Fallout vibes here. Who doesn't remember those rad scorpions and giant ants? We got, I think, most of the variants for issue number 2. If this is, the new hero coming from Image, I'm completely on board. I'm just sold on this guy's look, and really this story is pretty awesome. It's really coming along. Geiger from Image Comics. Star Wars, The High Republic, issue number 5. This is still a fresh and entertaining addition to the Star Wars extended universe. Issue number 5, kind of can't believe we're already on issue number 5. I don't know how many more they're going to be. But this story is fast-paced, and it has really just started and has not stopped since issue 1. Here we find our band of Jedis are still really at the mercy of an infectious monster as it's overtaking a planet and its inhabitants. Jedi Keeve and Master Skier find themselves caught between fighting this deadly monster, and they're even at the mercy of an attack that's launched by the Hutts. Action-packed issue where we really get to see Keeve use some double-bladed lightsaber work and even show off some lesser-known Jedi powers. We also get some pretty awesome character growth here as we really are reminded about that powerful bond between a Jedi and their masters. The artwork is just begging for a big screen adaptation, as it should. One of my favorite things about this comic book is that we're getting to see, not only are we exploring a different time period, but we're also getting to see a lot of alien races that are not really used at all sometimes in the core films. My personal favorite being Skier, the Transdoshan, who aesthetically is kind of threatening and menacing looking, but really balanced off with a really good, just strict but very wise demeanor. He's got to be my favorite character in this whole series. Star Wars, The High Republic, issue number 5. This is really cool, Star Wars fans. This is definitely a must-read. Spider-Man Spider's Shadow, issue number 2, continues to take Peter down this really dark path and explores what having great power and responsibility really means. As the cover suggests, Peter has made some concise choices here and has decided to take on more of a horror figure rather than anything noble. Under the influence of the symbiote, Peter has decided that Spider-Man's actions have caused more harm than good and has contributed to the creation of so many villains. He's also decided that the only way to purge evil is to become it. As a result, some of the most powerful and most well-known Spider-Man villains, a roster of villains, are really reduced to frightened prey in this issue as they've become a target of a very savage killer. This is Spider-Man like you've never seen him before, and it is absolutely amazing, no pun intended. As in issue number 1, the artwork is very mature and very realistic in the sense of Peter's downward spiral that he's currently on. Same with atmosphere. As with any horror movie, the lighting and shadow work is utilized well in creating Spider-Man or Peter's eerie presence for a comic. And without giving too much away, Peter's actions are absolutely brutal and very gory, and the art doesn't hold back. Spider-Man Spider's Shadow, issue number 2. This is really surprising me. Spider-Man fans, I don't know. I don't know if you'd want to see Spider-Man in this light, but it is pretty awesome. And this is the only cover that we got. I believe I showed off some of my other covers for number 1. This is a what if issue. This is something that I haven't seen in a while, and this is the first one that I've seen. I don't know how many what ifs Marvel has done, but this is a what if for Spider-Man, and it's really something else. And that's all we got for This Week in Comics, what we're reading this week in comics. I'll see you guys next week.